This is Turner Sports.
For 3 days, 8 extraordinary teams, mirroring talent and authority, come together in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Watch how teams set their sights as their championship promise hones the focus.
We're here to win it again.
There's most definitely unfinished business.
And we're coming back with even more fire this year. What last year's results were doesn't really mean anything. We came here to win. It's our turn to make history.
Anyone can beat anyone on any given day.
It's going to be a battle, but we're ready for it.
If they want our title, they're going to have to earn it. So, bring it on.
Yeah, what's on to
This is the 2017
NCAA Beach Volleyball National Championship.
Yeah, we're smarter, faster, we're fire starters.
The 2017 NCAA Beach Volleyball Championships getting underway here on True TV. We are in Gulf Shores, Alabama, and it's time to get sandy. What a venue. It's a gorgeous day. Great day for some water sports. Great day to get in the sand, and we are going to start our matchup with the Contenders bracket. The 7th seed LSU Tigers versus the 6th seed Long Beach State 49ers. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Anne-Marie Anderson alongside NCAA champion and 3-time beach volleyball Olympian Holly McPeak. And Holly, what a rich field we have. This is the second ever NCAA beach volleyball championship.
It's really exciting because 8 schools are being represented here. They're all motivated, have something to prove, and they've all got some depth. 5 strong pairs representing each school. It's really exciting.
Yeah, USC won it last year, the first ever NCAA beach volleyball championship, but they're going to be challenged.
Target on their back, but you saw there USC says, hey, you're going to have to take it from us. Everyone very motivated, and it's very windy today. That's going to be a factor.
Well, dial it down into this matchup. LSU versus Long Beach State. What can we expect?
LSU looked really strong against UCLA this morning. UCLA, one of the best teams in the country in terms of ranking, and they were pushed to 3 sets in 4 of the 5 matches. So it's going to be really exciting. Pepperdine handled Long Beach pretty easily, but Long Beach State's going to be motivated now that it's win or go home.
So it comes down to this. Loser goes home, winner continues on. We're going to bring you back to Gulf Shores, digging a little deeper right after the break. Beautiful day in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Welcome back to the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship. We're going to start our coverage in the Contenders round. LSU versus Long Beach State. Hey everybody, Anne-Marie Anderson alongside 3-time beach volleyball Olympian Holly McPeak. Holly, there's been some early action already today. Take us through the bracket.
Well, so far USC advanced, and they will meet Hawaii, who upset Florida State. Also in the winners bracket, UCLA will face Pepperdine.
Yeah, and we're going to show you those 2 matches coming up later today, but let's dip down into the Contenders bracket and talk about this one that we've got on tap, LSU versus Long Beach State.
LSU is very strong in their first match. They lost, but they really pushed UCLA, so I feel like they have the advantage. Long Beach struggled their first match. They really need to pick up their game.
Well, this is too much coverage for just us to handle. Let's introduce the rest of our team. In the sand is Yogi Roth. Yogi, you've been to other NCAA championships. How does this one compare?
Yeah, Marie, look, I've been at the college football playoff, been throughout March Madness, but nothing can really compare to this. I mean, first and foremost, we don't have shoes on. We're literally in the sand. But when you're talking about dealing with student athletes, it's really incredible. For fans, it's extremely interactive. They get to talk to the athletes in between the matches. They literally get to watch them compete, sweat, talk to themselves. There's so much self-talk, as you know, going on in volleyball. And then, of course, we're going to get literally inside the huddle with all these coaches and their student athletes. So really an electric atmosphere, and one that's really intimate when you're talking about championship settings. Now, what I love is the stakes are so high. I mean, it's win or go home right now for the most part in this tournament. A lot of competitive temperaments rising to the occasion, and what else could you ask for? A big stage, the sun is out, the wind is blowing, and I know Cameron has a little bit more on that massive factor in today's matchups.
Well, Holly already mentioned the wind playing a big factor in today's first day of play at the NCAA tournament. Now, there are 25-mile-an-hour winds, and as you can see, there are also about 30-mile-an-hour of gusting winds. Talking to so many coaches, they also mentioned to me that this is the ultimate equalizer when it comes to beach volleyball. Another thing, in addition to the wind, is that the sand is very compact from yesterday's rain. The storm here just has totally put the sand to be so much faster than normal, with it being so compact and fine. Back to you, Holly and Anne-Marie.
Well, Cameron, thank you. There is nobody who's better in the wind than Holly McPeak. What are your top tips?
Well, for one, you have to move your feet because the ball is always moving. You can't assume it's going to be somewhere. And then, again, play a small game. You want to stay close to your partner, keep the sets low. And 3, be ready for anything to happen and minimize the errors.
The wind is going to make it extra fun here in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're ready to get the action going. Contenders, LSU, Long Beach State, show up or go home. Welcome back. NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship rolls on. Contenders bracket first round. We got 5 courts of action all happening at the same time. We're going to turn our attention to court number 1. Top teams for both these programs, Long Beach State's Nayla Barber and Rachel Nieto versus LSU's Kristen Nuss and Claire Coppola.
Right now, Long Beach State on the good side, serving into the wind. That's their advantage to start strong. They probably won the coin flip and picked the good side.
And again, a good side means wind coming at your face. Little cutty there, Holly. Take us through the rules.
Well, you already said 5 matches of pairs going all at the same time. First and second sets will be 21 points, win by 2. Third set, if necessary, 15 points, again, win by 2. We are playing to decisions, so the first team to score 3 points, everything stops and the match or the duel is over.
And in this elimination, whoever wins 3 points is to survive and advance. And the other team goes home. A little dribbler over the net.
LSU just tomahawked the ball over. They're on the bad side, and it's just get the ball over the net, keep it in the court, and let the other team make the error. Falls in their favor.
Bad side, meaning wind at their back, serving there. Barber up. Little dig.
Right now, Long Beach State needs to focus on passing that ball a little closer to the net so they can get the set closer to the net, which makes it easier to put the ball away.
Nayla Barber serving for Long Beach State, a junior out of Berlin, Germany. Played indoor for Marquette before heading over to Long Beach State. Ball coming back over almost. Crushed. Well played, Kristen Nuss.
Kristen Nuss and Claire Coppola doing a good job for LSU controlling the ball. Every time it comes over, they're making nice little touches, keeping the ball in play, minimizing the errors.
Nuss has a nice sports lineage in her family. Grandpa played for the Phillies, signed for the Phillies at 16 years old, he did. Good lineage. Barber in the air, off the block.
Claire Coppola, known for her blocking, has really had to make an adjustment to blocking at the next level. She dominated in high school at the net. The set way off the net, so you have to make sure you're really pushing over the net, sealing it so it can't sneak under you.
You see the wind is a factor right there and just coming off. It's side switch now, and so Holly, mentally, how do you change if, let's say, for Long Beach State, who's serving now with the wind at their backs?
Well, the focus has to be really intense, keeping the ball in the court and how you play defense. For LSU, if they don't push the ball to the net on the set, get off as a blocker and play defense. Nayla Barber did so.
Walk. Nieto. So sweet, just in.
Rachel Nieto has been playing fantastic volleyball all season. Her coach, Michael Campbell, says she is dialed in, and you see the back pokey to the back line for the Long Beach State point.
They are using that back line. This time it was LSU.
Kristen Nuss finds the back line. Hitting into the wind, you can be much more aggressive offensively.
Now this is just one of the 5 games of action, but take a look on the right side of your screen down low. You will see all the scores of the other courts. So we will keep you up to date on all of that and let you know. We'll catch action. How about a little bit thinking from Nieto?
Well, Rachel Nieto saw Claire Coppola, the blocker for LSU, shift over, and then the easy bump over, but that's not easy from the bad side. That ball can get away from you.
She's a thinker, is Nieto. That's why she wants to be a neurologist, work with kids with brain trauma. Shut down by Barber.
Nayla Barber stayed at the net, saw the tight set, and took advantage.
This pair for Long Beach State of Barber and Nieto started off hot this year. 19-0 is the way that they started their partnership.
Cross.
Cuddy by Nuss.
Beautiful cut shot across the net, dropping so fast into the wind. No block in front of her. Excellent execution by LSU.
Russell Brock, the head coach of LSU, told us that Nuss in particular really thinks the game.
There you see the big block of Claire Coppola for LSU, forcing Nayla Barber out of bounds.
Nuss back to serve again. And an ace.
Aggressive serve into the wind, all tied up. Both teams winning the good side, scoring 4 of the 7 points.
Yeah, and that's something that you've talked about a lot. When there is such a dramatic difference between the sides, how it's the game within the game, every 7 points.
Absolutely. So you want to focus on winning the majority of those points, especially when you're on the good side. 5 points ideal, 4-3 is a good win too. And then when you're on the bad side, trying to not let that difference get away from you. If you lose at 5-2, then you got to make up for it on the other side.
Barber closing the net. Hit the line, it's good for the Tigers.
Claire Coppola uses her length, fastball to the line.
Barber handles the first ball. Put down.
Nayla Barber, a fantastic all-around player from the indoor game, has really done a good job transitioning to the beach. She sees the block and hits around it.
Yeah, Barber spent 2 years at Long Beach State after her time at Marquette, her 2nd year of beach volleyball ever. A serve.
And she's still got another year of eligibility as well.
Looking for it the other way, it goes wide.
Good aggressive jump serve into the wind. This ball got away from her. I'd love to see her use the other corner and really attack the wind head on.
With the service error, Rachel Nieto out of Walnut Creek, California, redshirt junior, back to serve for the Beach. Into the net it goes, and trading service errors in the wind. We'll step away for a moment from the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship. Our first day of coverage. Long Beach State versus LSU. Survive and advance. Loser goes home. Welcome back to the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship. 5 courts of action going on here. Hey, Yogi Roth, what can you see down there in the sand that we're not seeing up here?
Well, it's incredible to watch these head coaches, specifically Mike Campbell of Long Beach State. He started off here on court number 3. His team pretty much has this one in control right now throughout the first game, and instantly picked up after a timeout, sprinted over to court number 4 just to make sure the emphasis was on. Look, this is an elimination match for this squad. You lose or go home. You can watch. There's only 3 coaches on each roster, and there's 5 games or 5 matches going on. So these coaches are moving around, and Mike Campbell is making sure his infectious energy is being felt from court to court.
Great point, Yogi, because this is different from the way that these teams usually play, Holly. They usually play in 2 flights, so there's a maximum usually of 3 matches going on at once.
Yes, this is a challenging format for those reasons. Somebody who's more experienced can usually handle the court without a coach, but you always need a coach if you're in trouble, somebody to refer to.
Yep, so a little soft sand running for these 3 coaches to spread their knowledge around 5 teams. Also, Holly, it's a good time to talk about that you cannot coach during the match from the sidelines. The rules are a little different there.
In college volleyball, you're only allowed to do a slow walk with your team, give them some advice on the side change or at timeouts in between sets as well. Beautiful set. And then Kristen Nuts puts it away for LSU.
Now we got a tight match going on here on court number 1. The top teams for Long Beach State and LSU. As Coppola back to serve, they trail by 2.
Claire Coppola out of Arizona for RPM Volleyball Club, and her partner all summer long, Haley Harward from Long Beach State. So she is facing her ex-partner, not particularly on this court because Haley Harward is on the pair 2s court. Well-placed shot right over the big block of Coppola.
Barber serving. No blocker. Cuddy.
Good defensive touch by Rachel Nieto to dig that cut shot up. Nayla Barber on the run could not control the set.
How about another side switch, all locked up again?
It's a battle back and forth, and it's where you finish at the end of the match. You want to be up in points and end on the good side if possible. That is a tough break. LSU with the ace from the bad side.
Let's take a look here. 2 courts at once. Look on the left side of your screen. These are the 5 pairs. The points count the same, whether it's your 1s or your 5s. So Young and Davenport for LSU in a great position to take set number 1 off of Hudson and Krudoff.
And right now, LSU doing some good work from the bad side. Wind at their back, using their strength.
On court 5 on the left side of your screen, Hudson and Krudoff chipping away, refusing to let go.
And on the right side, 3 points from the bad side in a row by LSU.
Right side, Barber, Cuddy.
Beautiful cut shot across the net, dropping too fast for the defender to pick up.
Barber and Nieto, wind in their face. And so let's check in the action on court number 4 on the right side. Ragnar and Weiss of Long Beach State about to take set number 1 decisively over Leak and Mall.
But miss the set point serve, but still nice cushion. All they need to do is side out and win on court 4, pair 4.
Yeah, LSU's pair of Leak and Mall have been together for 3 years. And so for LSU, that second set's going to be awfully important to see how they adjust.
Absolutely, it's how you respond.
And so it's a set 1 win on the right side for Long Beach State. But back to the action on court number 1. Coppola and Nuss up by 2 over Barber and Nieto. Barber, up! Oh no, Kong block!
Claire Coppola does that all summer long on the beach. I've seen it before. She did it at the junior level, and now doing it here for LSU. She just swats that ball over the net.
That is an energizer. Coppola sends it in the net. On the right side, 1917, but on the left, Long Beach State 2 pair, Brinka and Harward, about to put away set number 1 over Allen and Ligon. Harward, a great defender for Long Beach State on the left side.
And then on the right side, LSU goes up, set point on court 1 as well.
How about that? Right side LSU, left side Long Beach State. That's how tough this is. These teams want to extend their time. Barber hits that one wide on the right side, and Coppola and Nuss take set number 1 on court 1. Keep your eye on court number 2 now. Brinka and Harward in a great position. Up. Here goes Ligon. Tags that back line.
LSU holding on. They are on the good side. Wind in their face. They can be more aggressive from the service line, but not too aggressive. You don't want a service error.
Brinka and Howard for Long Beach State. Little ball. Up at the block. What a one-arm stab, but
right now on court 2, Haley Harward struggling to side out.
Haley Harward, number 11 for Long Beach State. The Big West all-freshman team is a libero, her first season at Long Beach State. Holly, libero indoors, scooping it up outdoor.
Yeah, Haley Harward, talented athlete, very dynamic. Now she's on the good side. She'll be much more aggressive offensively on this next opportunity.
Ball up, crunched down. Harward sends a message to end the first set on court number 2. First set in the books for several of these teams. Long Beach State took some, but so did LSU. Hot action. First set in the books for all 5 pairs. LSU won at the 1 and 5s, 2, 3, and 4 went to Long Beach. So let's check over at court number 2, where Allen and Ligon and Brinka and Harward are gonna again knock it out. And Cameron Irwin is over there by court 2. What's going on?
Well, after that first set, LSU dropped it. Now, one thing that's pretty neat for me to get to see is one of my former teammates on that LSU team, Emmy Allen. She played it with me at Washington State. She is one of many student athletes that you will see here today that transferred from a university where there was not a beach volleyball program. So she transferred not only from Washington State, then to Gonzaga to play indoor volleyball, but then she again transferred to LSU to finish up her eligibility in collegiate volleyball.
Thanks, Cameron. Holly, that raises another point, is that we see a lot of athletes finish their indoor eligibility and take that last year or sometimes the last year and a half on the beach.
Yeah, and it really fills some gaps for these new emerging beach volleyball programs. You see it for Pepperdine, you see it here for LSU, and I think it's going to be a big factor, more opportunities to play beach volleyball.
Yeah, and some coaches have told us they won't take somebody for just 1 year on the beach. They need at least 2 seasons from them, but it gives you an idea of the translation from indoor to beach. What's the most difficult transition?
Oh, there's so many, but it's a whole different game. The way you train, the touch on the ball, the strategy, it goes on, and that's why coaches want players for more than a year. They can train them for a year, and then they can really help your program the next year.
And you know, we've talked about the wind a bunch. That's where it really comes into play too, because experience in the wind really makes a difference overall.
Yeah, experience in the game of beach volleyball really makes a difference. Wind is obviously the most challenging factor. Right now, Long Beach State doing a good job using the good side, setting it tight, poking it deep.
Service error.
The wind, you can feel it's very strong at times, but then it dies down. So you don't want to be in the middle of your serve when that happens, putting a little bit too much pace on it.
Yeah, it's a gusting wind. It makes a difference. Trying to knuckle that one.
That time, Anita Brinka, who loves the low set, which is perfect for the wind, able to get that ball down for Long Beach State.
We remind you on the right side, down low, the score is there of the other court, so you can keep up to date on all the action. Of course, we'll visit them as well.
Long Beach State on court 2 really doing a good job managing the wind. They won that side 5-2. That's a good side switch for them.
Yep, and again, to remind people, it's when the wind is in your face, that's what they call the good side. You think it's really important to maximize those opportunities.
Absolutely, that is the key, and it's the small game within the game.
Gives them a little bit of cushion here as they have the wind up their back. That one wide.
And here, if you're LSU, it's go time. You need to score some points and play some defense.
Emmy Allen serving for the Tigers. Going for that line.
Emmy Allen, fantastic drop off the net, in good position. That ball just carried a little deep on her and she couldn't control it.
Brinka out of Latvia, serving. Sent long.
That's the minimize errors when you're on the bad side, and it's not easy.
Yeah, and Brinka's been dealing with some injuries. It had very light practice just this Monday. Just a little bit of practice Tuesday, went 30 minutes yesterday, that's it.
What a serve from Maddie Ligon. Just a kind of a top spin serve down the middle. Ligon, excuse me, right between the two players. I love the deep middle serve.
Harwood loves the defense to transition swing. There you go, going line.
That's what Haley Harward does really well. And Anna Brinka, credit her with the fantastic dig right there. But this is the transition dig, and nice set from the bad side. Good small volleyball game, not too high on the set.
And Mike Campbell, the head coach of Long Beach State, told us he really likes the mindset of Harwood. First of all, that she considers her best skill that defense to transition swing, but also that her favorite thing about volleyball, Holly, was one of the things that you've always said was one of your favorites, being able to cover huge areas of the court.
That's the most fun part, and the challenge. It's a big area of court if your blocker is up at the net. But Haley Harward really prides herself on touching every ball.
Leggin crushing there.
LSU really trying to even it up right now at 7-all if they can, and that would mean that they overcame that deficit from the first side change.
Yeah, they've already scored 4 points on the side where the wind is in their face, which you call the good side. And they did it, able to even it up the game within the game.
Yep, 5-2 is how many points they scored on the good side. All tied up at 7, and that's the small game. This ball just kind of, you think it's going to drop, and then it floated high on a Tabrinka from Long Beach State. You see the wind blowing the hair, the wind blowing the trees. It has not died down today.
Up and down.
You see what kind of an athlete Haley Harward is. She's out of Arizona too, the RPM Beach Volleyball Club, and she is explosive, she's experienced, and she loves to hit. Doesn't get to do it too often.
On the indoor side,
yeah,
as
on
a
the
libero.
indoor side, correct.
Turning it the other way, Emmy Allen, making him run.
Emmy Allen is long at 6'1", good high reach. Uses it to her advantage. Both teams have missed their serve from the bad side. You know, from the bad side, go down the middle, maybe a little bit of a higher lob, push the other team deep, but you don't want to miss. And then Haley Harward for Long Beach State returns the favor.
Tied up 9 apiece. Brinka and Harward took the first set. Brinka, you heard the call, over line. Cuddy.
That ball blew tight for LSU, and Anna Tabrinka was the blocker, tried to get a little too aggressive. Netted. But look at Haley Harward always laying it out for Long Beach State.
They're making Brinka handle all the first balls.
Unfortunate for LSU that if you stay, as a blocker, you are supposed to stay and watch the set before you pull off, and that time, Emmy Allen forgot to do that.
Trading blows on court number 2. Chases on. Harward puts it over and up in the wind. Emmy Allen setting. Ligon, knuckles. LSU wins the point. Good switch. LSU with a narrow lead in the second set after dropping the first one to Long Beach. Action continuing after the break. Check out the action on court 4 here in Gulf Shores. Leak and Maul got mauled in set number 1, only scoring 10 points. They're on the verge of taking set 2.
What a turnaround. They obviously made some adjustments. Maybe their coach gave them some advice, and huge turnaround. Gonna probably push that to 3 sets.
Yeah, and it did. In terms of Leak and Maul, they've been together for 3 years. And so, Holly, it's the longest tenured team for the Tigers. Leaks up at the net. Nice put away by the Beach.
Long Beach State fighting hard, and on the side change, they need to start feeling the urgency if they want to stay alive.
Yeah, and you talk about the changes there. Caitlin Leak, number 24 for LSU, wants to be a college coach. She was an opposite indoors, and so when you're working without a coach, it's nice to have somebody who at least wants to be a coach, thinks like one.
Thinking like one is absolutely important, especially in the beach game. Sometimes you have to be your own coach.
Meanwhile, Weiss and Wagner not having it right now. They are pouncing back. Remember, it remains set point. LSU scores a point, and it goes to 3.
And Long Beach State playing hard. LSU calls it timeout. They're not happy as Long Beach State's getting closer and closer.
Let's take a look at what's happening on court number 1. You remember that Coppola and Nuss took set number 1. We'll talk about adjustments. Barber and Nieto, 6 points up in set number 2. There's a put away for the Tigers.
LSU right now on the good side, but down by 5. Their cushion is they won that first set.
Barber up, turns it just a little wide.
Nayla Barber, really aggressive swing at that line, and she does it really well, but that's the second time she's hit it wide down that line. She needs to dial that back a little.
Blocked, right back. Nieto pops it, goes about 1.5 feet long.
LSU playing it smart, using Claire Coppola's size at the net, putting the pressure on Long Beach State.
Into the net, pushes Long Beach State a little closer to the finish line for set number 2, a 4-point lead for the 49ers. Barber pulls off in the middle.
Absolutely perfect shot right down the middle, no block up in front of her, nobody covers the middle.
Call was high line, and she went right over the block.
Well executed back set. Rachel Nieto puts it in a great spot for Nayla Barber.
Service is long. Barber and Nieto, a couple errors keep opening the door for Coppola and Nuss. Meanwhile, it is set point on court number 4. And just as we said it, Leak and Mole put it away. What an answer, Holly. 10 points only in the first set. They came back to force it to a 3rd.
That first set's a throwaway for LSU. And then the second set, forget about it. Third set, whole new match.
Taking a look at this one, we got a little bit of a similar situation in that Barber and Nieto are answering back after dropping the first set.
Yeah, and that's the game within the game as well. It's the strategy coming back and adjusting to what the other team is doing.
Get up close, like a foot on this side and then push. There you go, yeah. There you go.
Long.
Yeah. What's that? Yeah, go that way, yeah, go that way.
Up, little pokey, knuckles.
Rachel Nieto touching a lot of balls defensively for Long Beach State, but LSU keeps it alive with the short poke over the block.
For Barber and Nieto, it is set point. And an ace serve by LSU.
But if LSU can score some consecutive points from the bad side, they can win it in 2 sets. So the pressure is on Long Beach State right now to side out.
And a service error there will give Barber and Nieto the second set win. And so court 1 and court 4 going to a third and decisive set. This is why it is a team sport. 3 points, 3 matches, whoever finishes first. So let's jump over to court number 2, where Brinka and Harward are poised to put the first point on the board in this duel for Long Beach. Harward serving. Ligon with no one on, crushes corner.
Maddie Ligon stays aggressive. Blocker pulls off the net. Open net is a great opportunity, especially when you're on the good side, to put it away.
Up at the net, blockers there. Ligon is really hitting some balls.
When we talked to Coach Mike Campbell, he talked about Anita Brinka wanting a really low set, almost like a 1.5. It looks like Haley Harward's setting her a little too low in this win, and it's blowing back on her.
Check out the side, the action on the 5s as well. Identical scores, mirror images of each other. Left side of your screen. Little ball, and there was Brinka. They are 1 point away from putting the first point of the duel on the board.
And they're going to have to do it from the bad side. Wind at their back. I'd like to see Anita Brinka stay at the net to block.
An ace serve will do it as the 2 pair of Brinka and Harward put the first point of the duel on the board for Long Beach State. Look on the right side of your screen, court 5, Young and Davenport. Can they even it up seconds later? They did. And just like that, it's 1-1.
What a play, a stab, a shoot over, and it doesn't matter what it looked like. It's pretty, it's a victory.
We're tied up just like that. Go court 3. And we'll see if it again is gonna go to a third set. Snapped down. And LSU fighting and punching back. Third set on the way for court number 3.
That's all you. Hey, I'll pick it up. My bad.
How about that?
Love to hear the talk between partnerships, but I've been impressed with LSU all day long, playing at a very high level, making big plays. They are not intimidated on this big stage.
They're not intimidated on a big stage, in part, Holly, because they receive such incredible support at home. They play in front of crowds.
They certainly do. They play at Mango's, which is a volleyball location that has 13 courts. It's like a beach volleyball club. That's the venue where they compete. Huge volleyball community, beach volleyball specifically, where people play every day, all night long as well.
This is LSU's first time in the NCAA championship field, and they were thrilled to be here.
Yeah. I got it. Yes! Let's go!
So let's explain. It's tied up at 1 apiece. And the LSU won the 5 pairs, put a point on the board. Long Beach State won the 2 pairs, put a point on the board. So it's 1-1. Each match counts as 1 point.
Come on. No one.
Little ball.
Yes, go! Come on. No one. You go. Yes!
Going to the back line yet again.
That was a crazy rally. LSU comes out on top. Just, you know, in this kind of win, you just got to stay patient, wait for your opportunity to score.
Each one of these pairs, each match within the duel, worth 1 point. So the next team to win 2 matches, or 2 games really, since we're in the third set, wins the duel. The other team goes home. LSU punching back. Callan Mall, she got a win over USC's 5s at Manhattan Beach in the East meets West at the beginning of the year. it the other way. Katie Leak using her length, getting off the net, playing defense, and then putting the ball away for LSU. Fantastic play for the Forest pair for LSU. Mall serving with her right hand. She's left-handed otherwise. Played volleyball with her right. Long Beach State fighting hard to get that advantage before they have to change sides. Reminder, you can see the scores on the other courts, the lower right side of your screen. Crunching. Maul up, no one on. And all tied up. Long Beach State going to the good side, wind in their face. LSU going to the bad side. Leak serving. No one on. Maria Wagner for Long Beach State. Simbling for a touch off the block. LSU trying to play it off. I'm with you. Go back to serve until they make you give up the ball. 1 point lead. Reminder, this third set's only to 15 points. LSU needs to control the ball better with the wind at their back. The ball set too tight to the net, and Heather Weiss makes LSU pay. Weiss pulling off.
Highline. Right here.
Uh-oh.
Straight up. Highline, quick.
Ball sailing out a bit. You hear all the dialogue between the two partners because it's so important. Straight up talk what's happening because the ball is moving all the time. It's so important to talk. 1 point lead for Long Beach in this third set, just to 15. Maul serves. And a slight advantage for Long Beach State, 8-6 in this third set. Gone awry a bit. Weiss can keep it in. Leak up. Perfect inside. Katie Leak's doing a fantastic job getting her feet to the ball, and that allows her to use her length. If you're gonna bump a free ball over to the other team, go to the smaller player, Maul. Leak, a senior on this team, wants to be a college coach, loved her high school club coach, of course, the Olympian, Rose Majors-Powell. Again, they bumped the ball over to Leak, to your point earlier. Dig. Relentless defense, keeping the ball alive, both sides of the net. And Heather Weiss able to end this very long rally with some heat. Do you think their strategy is to go to Leak? Because they're not having Maul touch the first ball at all, and she's much smaller. I agree, and maybe they don't like digging her shots. Left hand. Sometimes you got to pull the left hand out of your pocket. Yeah, you know, it doesn't seem to be working on Katie Leak. Switch it up in the middle of the set. Go to the other partner. See if she's going to respond. Ball serve. Falls short, and now 2 point lead again in a set that only goes to 15. Walker's pulling off. And what do you know? Maul puts it away. Maul puts it away. She's aggressive, but in terms of offensive range, she's smaller
harder to put the ball away if it moves away from her.
The duel's tied up at 1 apiece. Looking for the advantage as we come down to the end of set number 3.
Maria Wagner with the beautiful cut shot, and they switch up by 2.
These are all tight sets as you're looking at the rotating score in the lower right of your screen. Court number 1, it's a very narrow 1-point game. Court 2, 1-point game. This one, 2 points. Long Beach State ahead in all 3, but boy, they are narrow margins.
Nice attempt to dig that ball and stay alive by Weiss for Long Beach State. But LSU able to capitalize, just down by 1 now.
Court was long, she ran over. No one on. Mall's little shots.
Kellen Mall sees the game very well, and that's so important as a defender, and then just cuts it. Cuts it, puts it where they're not. Smart volleyball play.
Tied up at 11 apiece, so how about a game to 4? Because that's what it is now on court number 4. Let's dip into court number 1. Third set over there as Barber and Nieto with a 2-point lead over Capola and Nuss.
Rachel Nieto had that ball hit right at her, kind of a tweener ball that doesn't catch you high or low, right in the middle. Just couldn't control it for Long Beach State.
Duels tied up at 1 apiece. All the others are in the third set. Next one to have 2 matches go their way will advance. Cross down the middle.
How about Nuss? What a play. Picks it up, puts it away for LSU. All tied up. Long Beach State with the advantage in my mind because they're going to be on the good side.
Good side means wins coming at their face. Nieto up. Barber puts it down.
Well executed side out, started with a great pass, nice set, aggressive offensive attack to the open sand.
Nieto has over 50 wins as an individual for Long Beach State. Barber, ace serve, up by 2.
Nayla Barber has stayed aggressive with her jump serve in this win. Love that she's going right down the middle with some heat. It gets there fast.
Another ace for Barber.
There is the benefit of being on the good side. Nayla Barber's been very aggressive from the service line.
Court 4 returning to action, tied up at 11 apiece. On the left side of your screen, court 1. Nayla Barber has just had 2 service aces. Little, using her head is Kristen Nuss.
Kristen Nuss is money. I mean, a roll shot from off the net, wind at your back that dropped short in front of the defense. So hard to execute.
Why not, right?
Love it.
In the national championship tournament, no pressure. Here she goes again. Barber closing the door on the block. Nuss, third. Nieto, Nuss digs it. No one! That was the call.
Rachel Nieto has to be a little bit more patient with her first contact. That was kind of it was a tomahawk, but it was almost trying to go over, but not enough control on the ball that her partner can get there.
Insane competition in this elimination bracket. Both of these teams have already lost once today, both of these programs. It's a double elimination tournament, and Barber just put this court 1 on match point. Barber digs, left side of your screen. It's long.
Big time dig by Nayla Barber and a chance. But now they need to side out to win it.
And keep an eye on the right side of your screen as well, as Leak and Maul are up by 1 in the 3rd set. Left side, Barber coming around. Shut down. Coppola, not here.
Claire Coppola is long, and she was waiting for that little shot over.
Of course, the ones are going to extra points in the first match of the day. That's how hot this action is. Second block. So smart. Nuss.
What about LSU? Claire Coppola patrolling the net. Kristen Nuss digging up everything.
Barber. Here comes Nuss. Block her off. Coppola and Nuss put another point on the board for the Tigers.
Wow. A lot of fight in that LSU 1 pair. That was a great comeback.
But just when they punch on court 4, take a look, they punched back. Wagner and Weiss. And this is where the team sport gets crazy. Everybody rushing over to the one match still in action. It's all happening on court number 3. And it is a 1-point game. It is Lindelof and Powers, Karlov and Pekic. A 1-point game. Tied up 2-2. Survive and advance or go home. Those are the only 2 options.
Come on. We got who we want for sure.
Yogi Roth hanging out on court 3. What's going on, Yogi?
Well, it's incredible to listen to these coaches just schematically devise up how to finish this thing. And Drew Hamilton, the volunteer assistant at LSU, he's been consistent all match long of just, let's just be aggressive, let it rip, and have a blast. And you can tell with the crowd, the energy. Remember, only a 4-hour drive from Baton Rouge in their campus. These LSU volleyball players are absolutely stoked here as it comes down to the wire.
I mean, the crowd here at the NCAA Championship, you told us how crazy it was and how different it is. Check out the crowd. Everybody just sprinted west on the beach. All of a sudden, Holly, you're playing, and everybody's on top of you, and then what happens?
Well, for one, I have goosebumps. They've up by 1 point. They could seal the duel right here. The pressure is on. I think you just feel the energy, the adrenaline. It's the extra boost on your court.
I mean, it's the 7 seed. LSU, they've never been in the tournament before. Lindelof serves. Not so fast, tied up.
Tied up and a side change. Long Beach State going to the good side. That's a big deal.
Long Beach State, the 6th seed. LSU, the 7 seed. 15 apiece. How about a quick game to 2? Because that's what it's going to take to put this away. Powers.
Clutch side out from LSU, and they bounce back up by 1.
If LSU wins this point, they win the duel and advance, sending Long Beach State home. Block for the win. The Tigers survive and advance.
Big moment for the LSU beach volleyball program. Huge upset over Long Beach State.
You think the Tigers are a little bit excited? The 7 seed, LSU, first time in the NCAA tournament, just survived by the skin of their teeth.
This is why this format is so exciting.
Yogi Roth standing by with the Tigers leader and head coach.
Coach, you said at the beginning of the season, the theme was having a purpose. Everything, all the little things you do. And you said now about midway through the season about expectations. Did you expect your squad to do what they just did?
we always expect to win. I mean, that's the only way I think you have a chance to win these type matches. If you come into it thinking that, you know, you really don't have a shot, you're not going to be able to grit out, you know, this one and grit out that one and grit out that one and come back and win these games. Like, it's just not going to happen. So, yeah, of course, you know, we expected it to happen.
Coach, only a 4-hour drive from campus. How about this crowd here?
Hey, like I told, I can't remember who I was talking to. My mind's a little bit of a blur, but we knew, I was here last year, and I knew that if we got here, this could happen. You know, it's not far from home. People love Gulf Shores just to come to for the heck of it, but to come and root for LSU Beach, like, they'll make that drive all day long. So we knew that it was a possibility for sure.
It was truly every member who played today on your roster had some sort of an impact. What did you tell your team before today's matchup, specifically the elimination game?
The message that I gave them was, let's play our fight song at the end of the day. Like, we have so much pride in our school, our athletic department, and that resonates with our athletes. So to say, look, we can't leave here without the opportunity for these people who drive, these people that support us, all the hard work, to not be punctuated with that fight song. And so that was our goal, just get it played.
And take us through the process now. Done for the day. What happens to get ready for tomorrow's matchup? Again, single elimination.
You know, I think when you get to day 2 and you're at this environment, you don't really have to encourage people to do anything like extra special, like they want it. If you don't want it when you get to this point in the game, like, why are you even doing it? So we know that our girls, they put in time. From August, we've worked our rears off to be in this position. And so for us, it's about being ready for the next one and just preparing. Fuel, hydration, rest, being ready to go.
I love it. Well, congratulations. That was an epic one. Anne-Marie, back to you up in the booth.
I mean, that's the way it goes in this team sport. And Russell Brock, the head coach of LSU, saying we expected to be here. We knew this could happen. The fans going absolutely crazy as LSU survives and advances. Long Beach State goes home. We got loads more action happening from the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship. Action will continue right after the break. LSU survives and advances.